Hey everyone, welcome to Paws and Talk. We are very excited. This is episode 7, so thank you for joining us once again. Today we have Daniela and Leigh here from the feeding program for Northern Dogs. So welcome, ladies. Thank you so much for coming. So I wanted to start off by having and just doing a light kind of introduction with you ladies. So tell me a little bit about yourself. Daniela, we'll start with you.
Well, I'm recently retired now, so I got more time to spend with the dogs.
Well, that's great. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks. I don't know. I've been an animal lover my whole life, so it kind of just evolved into wanting to do more. And I don't know what really led us to this, but
yeah,
I'm glad we're here now. Yeah.
Leigh, what about you?
I haven't retired yet. I'm waiting on that. I, as well, am an animal lover and have always been. And I kind of got into the animals in this way through Daniela, because I had contacted her about donating money the one year, because I wanted to do something different and go give money to the animals instead of well as
yeah,
people.
absolutely.
So,
So I mean, in general though, so obviously you have been doing this specifically for quite some time now. How long have you been doing this? Like an animal welfare, how long have you been?
Animal welfare? Well, I started helping in a rescue. Like, I always loved animals and picked them up when they were lost or whatever, but I started working with a rescue at closer to the end of 2009.
Okay.
And shortly after that, I recruited her to help with the same rescue.
I started about 2010.
Yeah. And we lasted with that rescue till about 2012.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys both have been doing this for quite some time.
Yeah.
What does, like, in general, helping animals mean to you? Both separately, but what does it mean to you?
I don't know. You know what? It's just they're so helpless and they depend on people so much, and I just want to help them and do what I can to make them comfortable. Every animal deserves a life, and no matter where they live or economic the economics of the community or, like, they deserve a life and they deserve food and to be happy and playful. And
Absolutely.
so, yeah.
What about you, Leigh?
I feel that the animals count on us, and they give everything to us that they have. So I think we should be giving back to them.
Absolutely. We're kind of like, I saw the famous quote, and it's, we end up being their voices, right? Because we don't have those, or they don't have those, right? So, and I feel the same way, that they depend on us, to get their message out there and to help save them. How did this program start? So the feeding program for Northern Dogs, what happened? Walk me through the starting process of it.
It started when we were both with the rescue. The woman who ran the rescue, we'd send up crates for dogs to come down.
Okay.
She'd always say, throw in a bag of food. Don't send up an empty crate. And so we'd get a bag of food, throw it up, send it off on the plane. And many times I'd pick up a dog from the airport, and a lot of the dogs were very thin. And I thought, wow, these dogs need a little more. That's what basically put it into our head. And then in 2012, I'll let her take over for a bit.
In 2012, Daniela came up with the idea of Christmas for the Northern Dogs, just so that they could get a little more and make people a little more aware of their needs. And so she put it out there on Facebook, and
we did a little event.
And I kind of got on with that, and we started sending up over Christmas, but it was meant to end.
We collected food, toys, any kind of medical supplies people had left over for animals.
Wow.
Like nothing major, but little things like peroxide, alcohol swab wipes, like stuff like that. And we just filled up how many boxes? Like as many boxes as we could. And we asked for donations towards the shipping, because shipping is the big killer. That costs a lot.
Yeah.
So, and from then, we thought, how are we going to stop doing this? We thought
once
there's-
it like was so successful, and
Yeah.
you just spent the entire season saving all these animals' lives and sending up all these supplies.
Yeah.
How do you really stop, right?
And some people were saying, well, you're just feeding them for a day. But you know what? It's better to feed them for a day than to not feed them at all.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
So that's basically
That's how it
it
started.
it actually started.
And we didn't know how we would keep it running.
We had no clue.
I think that's all.
Again, the shipping of dog food up to the northern communities
Yeah.
is hugely expensive, and we did rely on donations for the cost of the food and for the shipping. So, that was kind of a little bigger than we were thinking at the moment.
It was.
So obviously you created this program, and you didn't know how it was going to go, like most rescues, right?
Yeah.
You start because you want to help, and you obviously saw the need. How did you know that there was a need for this specific, for like the lack of like resources and stuff like that in these, northern communities? How did you know that?
Well, like I said, we knew from the condition of some of the dogs that came in. It's not that the people didn't care.
Yeah.
It's that there just wasn't food. So we thought, we're going to have to continue. And the feedback we got from the people we did send the dog food to for that Christmas for the animals was overwhelming.
Wow.
They were so happy. They were sending us pictures of
Yeah.
dogs eating their food, and we sent cat food too.
Yeah.
Of course, we call it dogs, and we will help cats as
Yeah.
well. Yeah, we don't leave
That's
them out.
amazing.
Yeah.
When we come back, we're going to discuss a little bit more in depth about the northern communities and just talk a little bit more, okay? Thanks, guys. All right, welcome back, everyone. Again, we are here with Daniela and Leigh from the feeding program for Northern Dogs. I really want to get into this, and even during the break, we were just talking about it, and there's just so much to talk about, right? So we kind of discussed, the North and how this all kind of happened. So what specific communities do you guys send food to? Is there a full list?
We have a list. We would love to have a contact in each community, but we don't, unfortunately. We probably have at least 12 different communities we send food to, through Red Lake and through Pickle Lake.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a little difference there we'll get to after.
Yeah, absolutely. So why do you think that, we always talk now, like I said, you guys have the feeding program for the North, there's the Animal North Network. There's now a lot of things surrounding specifically the northern communities. What makes it different than, say, Southern Ontario, you know what I mean?
Lack of resources.
Yeah.
Lack of resources, fly-in communities. You can't just go to the store. Well, you can go to the store, but there might only be one store in your community, and that store might not have a lot of things that you need. They might be out of certain things. What else?
Cargo room is very precious.
Oh, yeah.
So what do you mean by that?
To ship up north
Okay.
into the northern communities
Gotcha.
and fly in. The cargo room is very precious, and especially at certain times of the year. And so
It's harder at Christmas to get
it's
things out.
harder at Christmas.
Why is that?
Because if you go to any hangar that deals with the North at Christmas, they're full of stuff.
Got you. Okay,
And so our boxes might or might not make it up. So we try to squeeze in wherever we can.
Okay,
With
makes
whoever we
sense,
can. Yeah.
So we previously we just kind of discussed and we touched on the shipping. So let's talk about that. And is it the cost? Is it where you're sending it specifically? Is that what's making it so expensive?
Yes, but we don't pay for cargo because of one of our partners.
Right.
I don't know if we're going to get into that right now.
We will discuss.
But when
their
we
amazing
do have to,
partnerships.
but when we
Yes.
do have to send emergency boxes, where our partner, they don't fly to every single community, so a community might be in need and they don't go there, and we have to send it on a different airline, and we get no break with the other ones. And we're talking a 30-pound bag of dog food can cost up to $70 to ship.
Wow.
Yes. So that's a big struggle. That's the biggest.
I think too, a lot of like, you know, our community, I think they need to know that, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's a constant struggle, and you know, we obviously want to do so much for, you know, we have countless rescues in town, but
Yes.
I mean and they're all amazing. Don't get me wrong, and every single one of them. But I think every specific rescue, I'm realizing, has a specific, you know, struggle. And I think like obviously, you know, shipping and stuff
Yeah.
like that, and the cost of, you know, the food and sending it up there.
Yeah.
We were talking actually as well about how, I can't remember the actual poundage of the bag, but it was generally a small bag, and it was $90.
Yes.
$90.
Yes.
Not
How
uncommon.
could you afford that?
Yes.
Like I
And-
even for myself, I
Yeah.
can't afford a
No.
$90 like small bag of food for
No.
my animal.
No, and that's not even a good brand.
Yeah.
It's just the bottom of the line brand. And if you're struggling to feed yourselves,
Yeah.
and
How do you choose?
Yeah.
I think that's the most, I think, most realization for me about this whole thing is that, and that's kind of why when I saw it
Yeah.
and I heard about the 90 pounds, I was like, how would I sit there and choose? And I know a lot of people will choose their animals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it
Yeah.
shouldn't have to be a choice
No,
though. And I
never
think
have
that
to.
that's like,
Yeah.
it's upsetting, you know what I mean? To not only obviously to us, but
is.
you know, to these communities.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, you and I, like we both talked about it, and in these communities, they love their animals. There's no, you know, second guess. Like we used to travel into, you know, all these northern communities, and they love their animals.
They do.
Yeah.
They do. It's a different culture, a different way of life,
Yeah.
and they do the best they can. And we're not there to judge.
Yeah.
We're there to help.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that's that actually is definitely a key thing to basically get out there and say is that no one's there to judge whatsoever, and that we're all here to help, and so
Exactly.
so we touched a little bit about it in the first segment, and we talked about the lack of resources. So what are some things that you're seeing there? So not only just the food, like what about, like you mentioned about how you help felines as well.
Yeah.
So is it the same thing for felines? Is it a little different, or?
It's a little different, I think. We don't get as many requests for cats.
No, not at all.
No, and I don't think there's as many cats in the community. So it's basically the dogs we deal with.
Yeah.
That's what we see most of.
Yeah.
So, but if anybody needs help with cats, we're there.
Absolutely.
We'll get it done.
So obviously, I know that you guys send food up there. Are there any other supplies that you're specifically, maybe even this holiday season, that you're looking for from our community to send up?
We like to send up toys, especially at this
Yeah.
time of year if we can.
Dog and cat toys.
And
Yeah.
collars. Sometimes communities will, contacts in communities will ask us for collars or
Yeah,
leashes and
they will
stuff.
specifically. We have also, well, I don't know if we want to touch on this now, but we have contacts up in communities that are kids sometimes. Not
wow.
little kids, but a little bit older kids.
Yeah.
And one boy loved baking. He wanted to be a baker when he grew up. And he helped our program so much, and we just got a pile of baking supplies and sent them up to him. I think we even sent a chef hat.
Yeah, yeah,
And
we did.
he just
Wow.
loved
We
it.
did,
He was
yeah.
in heaven. Yeah.
That is
And that
absolutely
just helps to
amazing.
build. It helps to make the connection with the
Yeah.
community even stronger when you're not only dealing with the animals, you're feeling for the people too. So you're kind of trying to help.
How did you, like, obviously we talked about your connections with these communities. How did that even start? Did you physically have to, like, did you contact them? Like, and I know, again, different cultures, it's very different. So what was your process of this, meeting with them and discussing this and saying, hey, we want to help?
The internet.
Yeah.
Internet.
It's, you know what? We started a page and we said, if you live in a community, if you're a community member, a teacher, a nurse, NAPS officers, contact us. Let us know. And we'll help if we can. And we had a lot of people message.
Yeah,
So that's where we
amazing.
built our connections
Yeah.
from. And our,
I think nowadays, like with social media, even for us, I think we can all like speak
Yeah.
to it. Like it goes really far. It's crazy how it happens,
And
right?
quickly.
Yeah.
very quickly.
Yeah, very quickly.
There are good things. And
Yeah.
animal rescue part of it and trying to get the word out about good things is a really good part of it.
I think it's nice too with specifically our community, everyone kind of comes together, and I think there are so many charitable organizations, there's so many rescues, there's so many wonderful organizations in our community, and I think the power of social media nowadays, it's phenomenal. So
Yes. Especially with the North, it opened them up to us.
yes.
Because before that, we didn't really even know about them.
Yes, I think that's something actually I learned through the Animal North Network.
Yeah.
Is that some communities they don't even have service, obviously, and so you know what I mean. So I think now that we're starting to realize this and starting to come together and say like, okay, we need that contact from the community, and who could it be? And everyone is just opening up that dialogue and really getting into that conversation.
Exactly.
I think it's absolutely amazing what you ladies have accomplished so far, and I'm super excited to watch the program itself grow. And I know, and I can speak for everyone here, but definitely our community too. We do thank every single thing that you guys have done. So when we come back, we are going to talk about how this program takes a village to run and all your amazing partnerships. And I'm very excited to talk about these wonderful, wonderful people. Stay tuned, guys. So welcome back, everyone, to Paws and Talk. Again, we have the lovely ladies here from the feeding program for Northern Dogs. Again, we kind of were talking about and briefly touching on the partnerships. This program, I know we've talked about it, that it takes a village. So let's talk about your partners and how this kind of how you guys all work together and navigate together.
It does take a village. And the biggest part of our program and our best partner is North Star Air.
Wow, yeah.
Just below them is Gardewine North Trucking. North Star Air, I remember back in 2014 looking for somebody that might help with the cargo costs and going through the yellow pages in those days. And I saw a picture of a man holding a dog in front of a Cargo North plane. And I thought, I want him. And that's when I phoned Frank at North Star Air.
Wow.
And he put us in touch. He was on board right away. He put us in touch with Clayton Doughton, who was an amazing young man who unfortunately passed away shortly after setting up our program. But we depend so much on North Star and Gardewine North.
This is amazing.
Yeah, without those two companies, we couldn't do
No,
what
we
we do.
couldn't do
What
what
you
we
guys
do.
do.
No,
right?
we could not.
We were kind of discussing a little bit about, where, so North Star flies to certain areas
Yes.
and Gardewine obviously drives and they commute
Yes.
to certain areas.
Yes.
So do they get to everywhere, like through it? Like,
Well, see, some northern communities are serviced out of Red Lake, others out of Pickle Lake. So from here, we pack our boxes at our unit.
okay.
We pack 50-pound boxes of dog food, either 6 or 7 every 2 weeks. Leigh and I.
Yep.
We don't need a gym. Well, we do, but it's another day. We pack the boxes, we label them, and we bring them to Gardewine North. And they either go to Red Lake or they go to Pickle Lake. We alternate.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, every 2 weeks. And they go to Gardewine. We'll drive them to either community, to the North Star hangar. And from there, when they have the room on their planes, they just throw them on and take them up for us.
Gotcha. Are there some communities that you just unfortunately, like with the partners that you have, that you just can't get to, and you would like to?
Yes, there are
Yes,
communities
there-
that North Star doesn't fly into.
Okay.
So
Okay,
And
so
that's when we pay the cargo.
Yeah.
And like I
Which
said
is-
to you,
yeah.
a 30-pound bag of dog food, if we need to get it to the furthest north, which is Fort Severn, it would cost us probably about $140.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, so at this point in time, I think it's safe to say that these lovely ladies and their program needs a little bit more of assistance. So if you or anyone that is basically, in touch with an airline or has some kind of, basically a connection that could possibly assist this program, please go to their Facebook page and send them a message. Obviously this is very important, and
it would be
yeah,
amazing.
and we need some assistance. So, thank you so much for letting us
Yeah.
know. At least hopefully,
Yeah.
our community
Yeah.
can
never know.
potentially
Yeah.
assist, right?
Yeah.
Other than, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
I was just going to say, we take advantage of anything that we can.
Yeah.
So we noticed the past couple of years that RFDA sends food up. It's called Sounds of the Season.
Okay.
Sounds of the Season. And they are partnered with, I think it's 4 different airlines that service the North.
Oh, wow.
And I called the guy at the RFDA. I forget his name. But
That's okay.
anyway, we asked if we could fill at least 4 totes, and they said yes. So,
Wow.
yeah. So in December, the last 2 Decembers, with help, we have filled up 2 large totes, probably
No,
over
5.
5. Sorry. How many pounds do you think? Quite a few.
Easily
Yeah.
100 pounds in
Each tote that we just label with dog and cat food. We put into little baggies. We throw in toys and sweaters,
Yeah.
and then we
Little Christmas
lift them
Yeah.
Yeah.
and bring them to the RFDA, and they go up with this program.
Yeah.
So we'll take advantage of anything.
I think it says a lot about our community as well, right?
Yes.
I think that that's something that is so special for northern like us in the north to realize that non-for-profits are helping out rescues, and everyone kind of works together. So same thing, if there's any other charitable or non-for-profit in town, that anyone that could potentially help that is shipping food up to northern communities, please contact the Northern Feeding Program,
big
because
one.
I think that little collaboration would be so beneficial in so many more ways, right?
It sure would.
We also have community members that in the winter when the ice roads are open,
Yes.
that they'll drive down and they'll contact us, and then we send back basically as much food as we
As you can,
fit in
With
their
them.
vehicles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, same thing. If there's anyone, community members, anyone
Yeah.
that, is going into these communities, police, firemen, anyone possible in our community, definitely
Yeah.
please get in contact with
Yeah.
these ladies for this program, because I think it's definitely absolutely
It is.
amazing.
Yes.
We talked a little bit about as well. You guys have you're assisting at a fundraiser. You're running it basically.
With help.
Yes, with the
help.
village.
With the village. Yeah. With the
So
village.
it is the Christmas tea. So tell me a little bit about the Christmas tea coming up.
It's Christmas Tea for Rescue. It's there are going to be 10 rescues there. We would have more if we could.
Yes.
The hall just will not hold it.
Unfortunately,
We're selling tickets. They're for sale. We have an events page. You can get all the info there. Coffee, tea, sandwiches. Every rescue will have their own table set up.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Selling their own little Christmas things and donation
Yes.
jars. And it's a great event. It's so much fun.
And
A
did
bake
you do
table.
this last year as
Yes.
well? Yes. Okay. Because I remember seeing that for sure.
This is the 3rd year.
Third year.
Yeah.
And how much are the tickets?
They're $10 for adults. Children under 8 are $6.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's definitely affordable. That can be a
Yes.
nice little stocking stuffer for
Yes.
someone, like an
Yeah.
early
Yeah.
Christmas gift.
And there's actually you could do a little bit of your Christmas shopping there,
You sure
because
could.
some of
Yeah,
the
it's
rescues
kind of
have
like a
some
little
pretty
craft
cool stuff
craft
for sale.
vendor and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Our booth has little fused glass birds.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that she's making. They're beautiful.
That's
They're really
amazing.
nice. Yeah.
So we discussed a lot today. Is there anything else that I missed that you want our community to know? Or
Yes. I forgot to mention that other than the airline and Gardewine North, our partnerships with down south with the people there who give us the food.
Yes.
Because we haven't had to pay for dog food in a few years.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Be it rescue foodies, pet stores from down south. We've had deliveries come up on metro trucks with skids for us in the back, and we unload them in January at -40 at midnight. Yes, we're the forklifts, everything. And we stock our unit.
Yeah.
Our unit has never been empty.
Wow.
No.
Yes.
Are you, you mentioned now that, you guys do this and this is your workout and everything like that. Are you looking for volunteers? Do you need
We'll
assistance?
take anybody who wants to help pack
Okay,
boxes.
Thunder Bay, you've heard it from them. If you
Yes.
want to get a gym workout without going to the gym this holiday season, contact the Northern Feeding Program. I think,
Do
anyone who just wants to help and assist, okay? I just, on behalf of all of us here at Shaw, we thank you guys so much. We do really appreciate everything you guys do.
We do it for the dogs.
I know,
We do,
and I know it takes the village, and
Yeah.
I know you did this even for the dogs, so I appreciate
Yes.
it. I know.
Yes, we did do this for the dogs.
All right, so we are done for today. I really appreciate you ladies coming and sharing everything about the Northern Feeding Program. I think this is a wonderful program. So stay tuned, guys, for the next episode, episode 8, and we'll see you guys later.